In this video, I take you with us as we drive to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and set up as an art vendor at the Teach Them Diligently conference. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Patsy, and I am a Christian creative creating art for the glory of God. And I love being able to share the behind the scenes of how I run my art business. And so you're probably wondering, what is the Teach Them Diligently conference? And that's a great question because I actually didn't really know much about it other than it was a homeschool convention. And so it is a homeschool conference that draws in about 10,000 people in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. There are two other locations. I believe one is in Branson, Missouri, and the other one is in Texas. That one is a new location. And you're probably wondering, Patsy, you at a homeschool convention? And honestly, I'm surprised too, because I was never homeschooled. We currently don't have any kids, although we are expecting one on the way. And to be honest, it was one of those conferences that I looked up at the beginning of last year to see if I should consider it, and really didn't think too much about it, put it on the back burner. But I revisited it because David Nunnery, who runs Teach Them Diligently, approached me at my booth at the same conference last September. And he asked if I would be interested in becoming a vendor at one of his events. So I said, why not? And so here we are. At the beginning of this video, we're going to start by renting our van from Home Depot, getting all of that in order, and then you'll just see. So just grab yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and join us as we take on this adventure and road trip to Pigeon Forge. There goes Walter. So much room. So Walter and I are on the road. We woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, packed our bags, and most of our stuff was already packed in last night. We just needed to pack all of our clothes and stuff. Our first stop was Wawa. Walter, what'd you get?
I got a breakfast burrito and some coffee, a banana bread flavored coffee.
And then I got an everything bagel with cream cheese and what else is in it? Cucumbers and tomatoes and bacon. So now we're on our way to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for the Teach Them Diligently conference. And our first stop is actually Buc-ee's. And we're gonna get there in 4 hours and 9 minutes, which will be about 1 p.m. our time. So here we go! Woo! So we are about 20 minutes away from Buc-ee's, and I just finished doing the envelopes that I'm going to be giving out at the Teach Them Diligently conference. So they contain one of these postcards with some information at the back, stickers, as well as these bookmarks. So these are going to be my freebies. And I finished about 3 packs of 5x7 envelopes, and I have more at the back. So making good progress, and Walter's been driving this whole time. Thanks, Walter. We've arrived. Himself. Do you feel complete now?
Yes, I do. Clink.
Clink. Okay, so we just left Buc-ee's and we ended up getting 2 brisket sandwiches, which were really good. Walter got the snack, which is cheese puffs. as well as the sweet and spicy beef jerky. We also got some banana pudding and some iced tea and some coffee. So now we have to drive for another 5.5 hours. And then we bought this little onesie for our future son. Tennessee! Woo! Scratch and sniff. So we just arrived at our hotel and this is what it looks like. And if we go and take a peek out of the window, that is us. That van right there is ours. And I believe what we're going to try to do is we're going to cross that bridge, because across from here should be the convention center where Teach Them Diligently is going to be. So we're gonna try to see if we could walk it. Apparently it's only 7 minutes by walking and also 7 minutes by car. So we're gonna try to walk it. It's a little bit rainy out, but it'll be fine. There's Walter.
Graceful.
Graceful. There's our spot. So this is the exhibit hall, and it is Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We just found our booth. It's completely empty. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna come back and start setting up.
First time.
Oh yeah, this is Corey's book, right? Okay, so it's the morning of the conference, and the conference isn't actually going to start till later this afternoon, but we have our set-in or load-in time at around 9:45. Right now it's about 7:30. It's about 7:30, and we're getting ready to go to the convention center. We went and walked last night to go to the convention center, and it only took us about 7 minutes. It's actually very close to our hotel, but we will need to definitely load in our car because there's a lot of stuff to unload from our van. And Walter was such a champ yesterday. He did the drive in 10 hours, and we only made 2 stops, and those 2 stops were at 2 different Buc-ee's. So we found the Buc-ee's that was in Virginia, and then the other one that was in Tennessee. Made those 2 stops and then arrived in Pigeon Forge by I think 6 o'clock. So we made it in good time. We were able to check in pretty easy. It was a rainy drive in the morning and towards the end of our trip, but overall it was very easy, very productive. I was working the whole time. I was putting my freebies together that whole time, and we were just listening to music. So it was overall a very easy drive, and yeah, I feel like the more that we do it, the easier it gets. Last September, we did the drive to Nashville, Tennessee, and that was a lot. But I feel like now that we're doing it the second time, and it's actually a little bit shorter since it's just in Pigeon Forge, it's not that bad. So I am so excited for today. So this morning we're going to go ahead and set up, and I'll show you the behind the scenes as we put things together. So this is the current booth setup. Ignore the chair. So we got some stuff over here. Prints. Here we go. Ready? There's our booth. So a quick word about our booth. We got a double, which means that we had a 20 by 10 feet space, and the tables that were provided to us were two 8-foot long tables, and we had to figure out where we were going to place them. So we spent a good amount of time sketching out how we were going to lay out our space. We got really lucky and actually had some storage space at the back behind the curtain, which was not guaranteed. All right, Walter, don't hurt yourself. Parkour. So Walter's getting the freebies that we're giving away, a free bookmark and a free sticker. And it's currently in our car. I did 10 hours worth of work yesterday when we were on the way to Pigeon Forge, but I wasn't able to finish it, so now's the time. Thank you. This is my postcard. That's a photo of me, and now we just need the envelopes, the bookmarks, and the stickers, and we're probably gonna do it in the convention center, which is honestly just right over this bridge, and the cars that are over there are actually the cars parked for the convention center. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. There's King Kong climbing up the building. So, during the conference, I was approached by 4 different kids who were doing the penny challenge. And essentially, the penny challenge is that they would exchange a penny for something that was equal its value or something that's better. And so these kids, they had backpacks full of so many things. They opened it up for me. They showed me what they got. They were able to collect so many pens, autographed books, they got posters, they got CDs, and so on. And so they approached me in my booth. The first boy who came to our booth, we ended up trading one of his pens for the Systematic Theology book pillow. So this is a book pillow that I designed last year. It was one of my masterpieces, and this is what I gave away. The second person to come in ended up getting this lamp cap, and I really love this lamp cap. I made it in my Psalm 23 collection. So on front, you'll see the picture of a lamb, and inside it says, "The Lord is my shepherd," and on the back it says, "I lack nothing." So that was a fun giveaway. And the third person who came in, she was very sweet. We ended up giving her a tea towel, my Morning Meadow tea towel. And I believe of everyone there, she gave us the best pen. For all 4 people, we ended up trading our items for their pens. And I received a sword pen from her, so that was fun. And the last person who came into our booth was a little boy, and he was actually the brother of the person who received the lamp cap. And so we didn't think it would be fair if we gave him something different. So we also gave him the Psalm 23 lamp cap. So both of them were wearing it all around as they were doing their penny challenge, and it was very sweet. So that was a lot of fun. I just wanted to make sure that they also had a good time. I can imagine that conferences might not be the funnest thing in the world if you're a kid, and so they were just making the most out of it, and I loved it. So that was fun. All right, let's head back to the video. Okay, so it is day 3 of the Teach Them Diligently Homeschool Convention, and we just woke up. We're getting ready to go, and we're excited for day 3. It's a full day, so it starts from 10:30 to 6 p.m. Yesterday was day 2 of the conference. It went from 10:30 to 7 p.m., and that was a really long day. I was wiped at the end of it. But we had a really nice dinner with Corey Johnson as well as Trisha Knutson. We went to the Mushroom Mellow Mushroom, which funnily enough, they ran out of mushrooms. So we didn't get any mushrooms on our pizza, but that was totally fine. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We didn't know what to expect, but it feels like a theme park. It feels like an amusement park with all the pirate ships and the mini golf and all the arcade and all the shows that they have. All the buildings are super fun and colorful, and I don't know what I expected about Pigeon Forge, but I don't think this was it. And so it seems like a good place to take your family if you're going on vacation. So I'm not surprised, I guess, that the homeschool convention is here, because there's actually a ton of kids who attend this conference with their parents. And so it makes sense to put it in a place like this where you can just, have fun afterwards, or spend an afternoon going to the arcade or something. But in terms of yesterday was really good. It was busy. There was a lot of foot traffic, and yeah, we're really looking forward to what day 3 will hold for us. Day 3 is also the day that we're supposed to pack up as vendors. So we're going to be open from 10:30 to 6 p.m. and then from 6 to 10 p.m. the vendors should be all wrapped up and should have already left the Conte Center. And so it's going to be a long day today, so we'll see how that goes.
We do not care.
Oh my gosh.
We absolutely do not care. They poop everywhere, they fight you.
So the exhibit hall didn't open until around 10:30 a.m., which was actually kind of nice because it gave us the time that we needed to restock our booth, make sure everything looked good, and just for us to have a chance to look around and look at the different vendors who are there. Because since Walter and I are the only ones working our booth, it was hard to leave the booth when the exhibit hall was open in case there are customers that want to check out. And so we actually used that morning to explore the other booths, say hi to other vendors, and we're just so thankful that we were able to get that quiet or calm before the storm.
There you go. Stories woven in silver. Make sure you get your copy.
So day 3 of the conference was great. I didn't get a ton of footage for day 3 because Walter and I were really locked in. We had a full day working from 10:30 to 6 p.m. with the exhibit hall being open, and then right after that we had to pack everything up and put them in our van. And so it was a very full day, so I didn't get a lot of footage of that. As expected, days 2 and 3 were our busiest days. And after we packed everything up, we ended up staying another night in Pigeon Forge before waking up bright and early to head back to Philadelphia. Overall, we had a really good time. What was really funny was that it was just a new world for us. So Walter and I are not in the homeschooling world, as I mentioned at the very beginning. And we were just surrounded by people who were selling curriculums, homeschool planners, and all these things, which, you know, it's not something we're familiar with, but we were totally fine with it. It was fun meeting so many new people. And to be honest, we've never been to a conference where there was a good number of children. So there were a lot of kids who were there, and so that was fun. A lot of the conferences I've been to have mostly been for adults, and so it was really sweet to be able to interact with parents and kids. And it's always a plus to be able to get another rep in for doing conferences. So on the car ride back, Walter and I wrote down our lessons learned for this conference. In our previous conference, we ended up bringing way too much inventory, and I remember everything was so heavy. We definitely overdid it that time, and this time we had I would say probably a good to perfect amount of inventory, so that was really good. Something else that we noticed was that our booth size was a little bit off this time, so we ended up getting a 20-foot by 10-foot booth. And the tables that they gave us 2 8-foot long tables, but when we turned them sideways, you would think that we would have 2 feet more, you know, because there's an 8-foot table with a 10-foot space, but it felt like the 8-foot table ate up the whole space. So I think the dimensions were a little bit off, so we had to figure out the layout of our booth real time. So we kept rearranging things and moving things around just to make sure that everything looked okay. One of our highlights of the trip was definitely hanging out with Trisha as well as Corey, and they ended up being our conference buddies, and we were able to have dinner with them one of the nights. We actually ended up crashing their dinner, and so I think a lesson learned there is to just find some time to hang out with the other vendors because it's so much fun. Not doing this on your own and, talking about life with other people who are in it with you. We also learned from other vendors who were attending the event that the best hotel to go to is the Drury Hotel, which apparently serves free breakfast and free dinner. Did not know that. So we stayed in the Holiday Inn, which was very close to the convention center. It was so close that we just parked our car at the hotel and we just walked right over to the convention center. And I didn't know until I checked out that I actually paid for breakfast. And so we weren't able to eat any of the breakfast foods that I signed us up for, which was a total bummer, but it happens. That was my bad. But it was good to know. Drury Hotel is also very close to the convention center and it has free breakfast and free dinner. So if you are going, there's your tip. Anyway, if you've stuck around this far into my video, I just want to say a big thank you. Make sure you hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video and hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along my journey because next month, Walter and I will be going to the Gospel Coalition Women's Conference, which is hosted in the Indianapolis Convention Center. And we are both really looking forward to this event. I've been a participant or an attendee for 2 of these conferences already, and I always love it and have a good time. So if you want to join us and see the behind the scenes of how we put everything together for that conference, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until then, I will see you next time. Bye! Thank you.